Good morning. A devotional today from another verse from Psalm 86, this time verse 10. For you are great and do wondrous things. You alone are God. So this psalm, a psalm of David, where he's calling out for God's deliverance, continues, and it turns to reflecting on the uniqueness of God. God alone is God, and the gods of the nations do not compare. Up in verse 5, he talks about how God is good and forgiving, and that the Lord hears his people who call upon him. And then turning at verse 8, he begins to make this comparison. There is none like you among the gods, O Lord, nor are there any works like yours. And it may sound at first like David is acknowledging a variety of gods, but you come down to verse 10 and he says, "You alone are God." So the supposed gods of the nations, they do not compare to the true God. Indeed, in verse 9, he says, "All the nations you have made shall come and worship before you, O Lord." That one day the sole sovereignty of the true God will be acknowledged. But of course, we do not yet live in that day. And in our world, there are many the supposed gods of various religions, and what you might call the secular gods of our culture, gods of power and self-identity, self-fulfillment, gods of wealth and comfort and security, and so on. And this verse reminds us that against the temptation to look to any other gods, there is one true God who can save, who does wondrous things, who is able to deliver his people who trust in him, who is able to comfort you in every sorrow, who is able to carry you through every trial, who is able to lift your burdens and give you strength in any and every situation, and who is able at last to take you home into his new kingdom, where indeed he will one day put everything right. So may the Lord be your sole reliance as you go through your day, and may God comfort you and bless you out of the riches of his wisdom, power, goodness, and infinite love.